All right, guys, rather than doing a drive video today, I'm just going to kind of give you a walk around of the 2023 Civic Si that I picked up. This is kind of like my fun car, you know, for the weekends, possibly some trips, road trips occasionally. But for the most part, it just sits in the garage, and then I take it out and take it on just some relaxing cruises near the lakeshore of Lake Michigan, near where I live. So here we have the Sonic Gray Pearl. It does have the HPD kit, which gives you a bunch of this black cladding here. And then, of course, I do have the blacked out badges. Just appearance stuff. I think it looks good. It really ties in with the black wheels and the black mirrors. A good color combo there. And then you can peek inside and you can see the red SI seats. I don't have any gripes with this car. I know there's a lot of people out there that might make the 5 things I dislike, 5 things I like. I think this SI really captures the overall balance that the Honda Civic Si has always really been about, and that is just inspiring automotive enthusiasts to drive, but at an affordable price point. So I think this Si is the best SI that we've had on the market. It just is. You know, is it limited? Absolutely limited. But I think back, you know, I'm in my upper 40s now, and I've been engine swapping Hondas since say 1999. So it was always big engine, little car. That's the classic hot rod formula. And you know, some of my first swaps were dual overhead cam ZC 1.6 liter into a Honda Civic Si EF chassis, which also had a 1.6 liter in it and from the factory, but it was a single cam, so a little bit of a bump in power. But when you're talking lighter weight cars, you'll notice 10 horsepower, 20 horsepower, 30 horsepower. So this one here, 200 horsepower, and it's from a 1.5 liter turbocharged engine that really doesn't like to be pushed too much, meaning that we're not going to like bump the horsepower up to 250 on this. I know you can. I'm not going to. I'm really not even going to do any like tuning or modding of that sorts. I might add an intake system or possibly exhaust, but honestly, that's just, you know, kind of like noisemaker stuff, or maybe an intercooler just to keep my air temps down if I do end up taking it to a high performance driving event, which is potential thing that might happen later on down the road. But if I do that, I tend to do a little more track prep. And even just for spirited driving, I really do like these wheels, but I think these wheels are probably going to have to go in order to fit a big brake kit, which I would like to do. But I realize from my years and years of modifying Hondas that you can't just do one thing. You have to do a few things to accomplish the same thing, and that's just the approach that I'll take. So, for example, here I'll put ARP wheel studs on there, and some might ask why. Because they're strong as heck, and they're going to be able to take the abuse that if I do actually decide to track this, that it will incur. So it's all about heat and braking things. So in heat dissipation. So I'll end up with forged wheels, probably Titan 7 wheels if I can find them, ARP wheel studs, and probably a 27-1 big brake kit, which is a 4-piston, larger 2-piece rotor. And that'll, for the most part, I mean, there's a few other things, change the brake fluid, stainless brake lines, and everything like that. But that'll kind of like settle the car down as far as slowing the car down. And that's always been a priority whenever I build a car, is being able to slow down and turn before I add more power, which, like I said before, I don't really intend on adding any power to this. This is already, in my opinion, pretty dang quick for this car, for this chassis. I think it doesn't really need much more. If I wanted that much more, maybe I should look at a different car or potentially a Type R. I guess I'm just past that. I don't know. Like, I get why people want to do that. They want 300, 400 horsepower, and you can do that. You could build this engine, or you could swap it out for the Type R engine. You can buy them crate motors right from Honda. I think there's ways you can do it. So that's a potential option maybe down the road if I keep the car very long, but my track record of keeping cars is probably about 3 years. So I don't know that I'll have it long enough to even do that. But, you know, better tires, better brakes, wheel studs, maybe an intake, maybe an exhaust. And then once I give the car better, grippier tires and better braking, then that's where I'll end up like increasing the spring ratio, maybe lowering it just like 1 inch. I don't like to lower too much. And then potential, see what options are out there for anti-sway bars. And then I think I'm done. I don't know what else I do from that point. I'm really happy with the car overall. The interior is great. I know some people might complain about the back seat, you know. I like the seats, they're comfortable. I like the shifter. I haven't installed them yet, and I will show that on video, but I ordered Acuity shift knob, and I'll explain that when I get it, and some bushings for the shifter cables in the engine bay, and I'll show that. I'm not going to do an install video, that's already been done to death, but I'm going to show them and explain to you why I chose those items, even though the shifter is amazing in this 6-speed already. But for the back seat, sometimes people will complain about, you can see like the seats aren't red, you know, they're more basic. They have red stitching, but like all this paneling and everything is basic in the back seat. I don't care. I don't ride back here typically, so I don't really care. I don't really care about the back seats at all. So I get my moonroof, which is nice, and I get a great looking, great handling car for a relatively affordable price. I mean, you can get these, I think, for a lot less than what I paid. I didn't pay any dealer markup, but what did happen is the dealer did add the HPD kit, which I like, and the blacked out badges, but then they added like literally everything else, including all the way up to the first aid kit, which you just don't need. Well, hopefully you don't need. But I think it's a great looking car. So let me know what you guys think about my potential plans for it, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next vid. I also forgot to mention a really good plus of the Civic Si in mostly stock form for the drivetrain anyway, is I'm getting 38.6 miles per gallon. And you can see I have like 2,000 miles on it, and I haven't driven very far with it. It's mostly just driving to one location or the next, doing a little bit of spirited driving, and then headed home. So I think that's a phenomenal thing that this car does as well. It makes a great daily driver. Also, side note, I did just go to Grid Life, which was there in southeast Michigan and southwest, excuse me, Michigan, in South Haven. This was an incredible event. Grid Life, I'll put a link to that in the description as well. It's just, yeah, it's super fun. Incredible drifting, time attack, GT style racing, and a bunch of other things. And I recorded a little bit of video. I mostly just immersed myself into the event and didn't really get much content, but I'll share with you now at the end of this video a couple of clips. I think you'll enjoy them. I'll see you guys on the next vid.
got two rotors. Yeah, 1,000 to the wheels.